I couldn't help but think of how unworthy we are of Jesus's mercy and grace, what he did by sacrificing himself, how unworthy we are to have the opportunity to come to him at any point in our day, to have eternity in heaven with him when our time is up by putting our hope and faith in him, being obedient and faithful to him, pursuing him. How unworthy we are. When he was done praying, after he just asked God for another way, when he was done, he went back to his disciples and he found them sleeping. These knuckleheads couldn't stay awake for an hour. They fell asleep on the job. Jesus asked them to keep watch. And how frustrated he must have been. Strengthening his argument for another way, right? I mean, the agony that was going to be ensuing physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, what he was about to endure is one thing. But he was doing it for these guys who couldn't stay awake, his closest friends who couldn't stay awake, and of course us, who fall short every single day. He was giving up his life for us. I want you to imagine just for a second. I've heard this story before, and I'm paraphrasing it, but you'll get the point, so I can't take credit for this. But if you're a parent, and even if you're not a parent, imagine you have a child, and there's this worldwide plague. And so everyone who is healthy is being tested for the right type of blood. Not type A or B or O, but a specific type of blood, something in the blood that can provide a cure. And it's discovered that your child has the right type of blood, that whatever's in their blood will provide a cure. Now the problem is they need all of your child's blood. What do? Your child, in exchange for this world, a broken world. And I'm not suggesting your child is perfect, but the innocent, the purity of the child for such a corrupt and frustrating world. Exchanging one for the world. Your child could save the world. That would be a hard decision to make, at least for me. If I'm being honest, yes, I'm being selfish. It would be hard to say, okay, you can have my child to save the world. I'd like to think that I would lay down my life and make a sacrifice. But to give up my child is a whole other question. That's a whole nother challenge. But that's exactly what God did. For God so loved the world, he gave his one and only son. John 3:16. That's what God did. And to further elaborate on that, Jesus accepted God's will for his life, exchanging his life, which was perfect, which was pure, which was innocent, for the sins of the world. The weight that he carried is incredible. The love God showed for us sinners is incredible. I'll never be able to comprehend, wrap my mind around that type of love. I have an idea because of how I love my own children, but I don't think I could sacrifice one of them, even for the world. That's selfish, I get it, but I'm just being honest. It would be hard for me to get to that point. And so let's not forget the sacrifice that was made by God the Father, God the Son, in order for us to have a relationship with him, to go to him with our problems, with our successes. Show some gratitude as you go about your day. I am forever grateful for what God has done for us, for what God has done for me. And my hope is that I'm making him proud and that I'm living out that gratitude, glorifying him along the way, pointing to others to him along the way. It's the least I can do, and never take for granted what he did for us some 2,000 years ago.